Hi, today I'm going to show you how to extract DNA using salt extraction method in tubes. The DNA extraction protocol that I'm going to use today is modified from Edward et al. 1991. Why this protocol? Because it's simple, it's inexpensive, it's less time consuming, and the chemicals involved are less hazardous. However, there are some demerits too. One of the major demerits is the DNA has high impurity, but still you can use the DNA for PCR. It was extraction buffer with 60% it was buffer and 40% salt, isopropanol, 70% alcohol, and TE buffer. Our centrifuge, incubate vortex, tissueizer, append of tube, 1.5 ml tube, BB, pipette set, different pipette tubes, block, and filter paper. Put 50 mg of leaf samples into this append of tubes and do not forget to write sample number on the tubes. Once you have filled your tubes with leaf material, the next thing to do is to add one BB ball in each tube. So I'm going to add BB balls here. The next step is to grind the tissue using tissueizer. To do this, first we'll have to keep these tubes into blocks. I have few samples, so I'm keeping them here. You will need another block. To balance it, I'll keep in the same way as I have kept in the another block. You can use this cardboard paper to ensure that they won't break. Use rubber band to tie them. You want to ensure that it clicks twice so that it's tight and firm. This tissueizer is programmed at 30 oscillation per second, and we are going to grind the samples for 30 seconds. So I'll just hit the start. Our samples will be grinded. You can see here it is grinded. The next step is to add 750 microliters of Edwards extraction buffer and salt. They have already been mixed here. Once you have added Edwards extraction buffer and salt, you just mix it well. Place them in incubator at 60 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes. It has already been here for around 10 minutes, so I'll turn upside down. These two have been here for 30 minutes, so I'll take it out now. The next step is to centrifuge them. I'm going to centrifuge the tubes at 13,000 RPM for 5 minutes. You can see here we have 3 tubes on either side. Now I'll close the lid. 13,000 RPM and start. While the samples are being centrifuged, take 1.5 ml tubes and write sample ID on them, because these are the tubes where you will permanently store your DNA. Put 500 microliter of isopropanol in the tubes. The centrifuge is over. I'm going to transfer 500 microliters of supernatant into the tubes that contains isopropanol. Mix them thoroughly by vortex. Centrifuge again for 5 minutes at 13,000 RPM. Centrifuge is done, so I will immediately pour off that supernatant from the tubes. A pellet of DNA is visible at the bottom of the tube. Now we are going to wash this pellet with 70% ethanol. I'll put 300 microliters of 70% ethanol into the tubes. Vortex to dissolve the pellet. Centrifuge again at 13,000 RPM for 5 minutes. Centrifuge is complete. Pour off the ethanol. Invert the tube to speed drying. To speed up drying, I'm going to put this tube in incubator at 60 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. This tube have dried. I do not smell any alcohol, so I'm going toward the final step of DNA extraction, which is to add tea buffer. Add 100 microliters of tea buffer in each tube. Dissolve the pellet by vortexing. You can also flick it to dissolve the pellet in tea buffer. When the pellet dissolves, a cloudy solution of DNA is formed at the bottom of the tube. With this, our DNA extraction process is complete.